In this video, I'm going to be breaking down these specific types of products that you should sell on Amazon as a beginner. But if you're brand new to the channel, my name's Warner Fields from Fields of Profit. I'm a full-time 7-figure Amazon seller, and I've sold all of these different products we're about to talk about. And I know a lot of new sellers come in, they start thinking about selling on Amazon. There's a million different people telling you a million different things. So I want to go ahead and narrow down just a couple different types of products that you should really focus on right at the start. And then while we're talking about the types of products, I'll also go ahead and show you how to source those products, of course. But before we jump into today's video, if you guys want even more free resources to learn how to sell on Amazon, link directly beneath me is going to be our completely free Amazon seller Discord community. There's over 40,000 people in there sharing a ton of free information. Would love to see you in there, but let's go ahead and jump into the video. So the first type of product I want to go ahead and break down, probably the best type of product to start selling as a beginner, is used books. And yes, I already know the question you're asking. People are still buying books, even used books on Amazon. There's a ton of demand for it. It's how Amazon first started. So there's a lot of people still buying used books. This is actually how I started my Amazon journey as well. When I first started, I had like $1,000 to $1,500. I had just started college, so I did not have a ton of money to go out and create my own product or do wholesale or a lot of other stuff that you'll see all over YouTube. So I actually went and started selling used books. And the reason that selling used books is such a great way to learn is because you're going to learn some really cheap mistakes. So maybe something you could do right at the start is just go scan the books on your shelf with an app like the Amazon Seller app. Use an app like SellerAmp. Go ahead and scan the books on the shelf, and it'll just tell you exactly what those books are worth. So you're going to have a bunch of books on the shelf that have been collecting dust for a year, 5 years, a decade, right? Just go ahead and scan those books you got on the shelf. Anything that's worth like 10, 15, 20 bucks, just go ahead and send in those books, right? Send in 10, 20 bucks. Doesn't matter. It's just going to teach you how to send in a shipment to Amazon. It's going to teach you what is it like when something sells? How do I get my money from Amazon? It's going to be a great way to kind of test the concept of selling on Amazon, especially if you don't have a lot of money. Doing it that way is a great way to kind of prove it to yourself that yes, people really do buy stuff on Amazon. The stuff that I ship in will sell on Amazon. I know a lot of beginners, they'll jump right in. It's justified, right? It's a new thing. It's scary. You might not see those sales. So doing it with used books, doing it with stuff that you already had laying around the house, it's a really good way to start. And even on top of just using the stuff you've got around the house, I ended up doing close to $100,000 in sales, around 35% profit as a freshman in college. And all I did was drive around from thrift store to thrift store in my town. So let me go ahead and jump into my computer just real quick. I'll kind of show you what I was doing, and then we'll jump on to those next categories. So back in the day when I was selling a lot of used books, something that I really took advantage of is going to those cities that were nearby me that had a whole bunch of thrift stores, estate sales, anything like that, book sales, all great places to buy cheap books. And so I just went ahead and pulled up. So for example, if you live in Oklahoma City, all of these hearts here are a thrift store that I went to, I guess 2 years ago or so at this point. Kind of crazy to think about. I was doing books way back in the day, but all of these are thrift stores that I've visited. I went to these thrift stores and I used this app on my phone. I use this app called Scout IQ. I pair it up with a Bluetooth scanner. It's like 40 bucks on Amazon. This app is about 40 bucks a month. So I would use this app. I would go out to these thrift stores, just start scanning books on the shelves. And this app is going to tell you exactly how much you would make. So that, for example, like here's our sales rank. Here's the e-score, says like how many times it's sold, give or take over the last 180 days. This is how much we'd make. And then here we can see all like the different offers on here. So you can see a whole bunch of different data just by scanning it. And it also has like a little audio chime. So back in the day, I'd be out at thrift stores, scanning books, listening to podcasts, whatever. And then every now and then you get that little ding that you found something that's worth checking out. Show accept, and we throw it in the cart. Just go ahead and buy it, ship it into Amazon later on. So books is probably like the easiest place to start, most beginner friendly. And if you have less than $1,000, maybe even less than like $2,000, I would really recommend that you at least start with used books. And then we can start to expand into these next categories. So the second type of product that's going to be a good product to sell on Amazon, especially right at the start, is going to be stuff in the grocery category. And the reason that I like the grocery category, especially for beginners, is that usually those products are not eligible for returns on Amazon just because they're grocery products. And so I know a lot of new Amazon sellers, they're really worried about returns, losing that money from those returns. It's a justified fear, right? So if you start out in the grocery category, you won't run into nearly as many returns, if any at all. And I would also say in general, the grocery category tends to be a little bit more stable. There's not going to be as crazy amounts of seller influxes, where if you look at something like toys, it's not unusual to see a listing go from 10 sellers to 100 sellers. Like if it went on Walmart clearance or anything like that, you're very rarely going to see that kind of stuff in grocery. So it makes those items less volatile, helps you learn more about those items as you're kind of starting out. But one quick note within grocery is that some of those products are going to be meltable. So from April 15th through August 15th, that's going to be the season where you're not allowed to send products into Amazon FBA if they're meltable. So if it's chocolate, anything like that, we cannot send those into Amazon's warehouses. It's just going to melt in the post office. So that's definitely going to be something you want to think about, especially if you're watching this during the summer. You have to stay away from meltables. But during Christmas time, like I'm recording this in November, it's a great time to buy grocery because there's going to be a ton of people buying chocolate, lots of stocking stuffers, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be some great items to flip on Amazon. So the next category that I think is good for beginners is called the health and household category. It's a lot of like vitamins, supplements, like that kind of stuff. And something I will say to help you source those products is be on the lookout for any kind of like buy one, get one sales, coupons, anything like that. It's pretty rare that you're gonna be able to source vitamins and supplements and all that good stuff for a profit without any kind of moat. So what I mean by a moat is like a coupon, cash back, buying it with a discounted gift card, like doing all those kind of things is gonna be a great way to get it cheaper than the competition. And within the health and household category, I've noticed that there's a lot of really good sales, a lot of different websites that run really great sales. So be on the lookout for those sites where they're running, you know, that buy one, get one sale or that 40% off sale. Like those are gonna be great places to go ahead and source. And another thing that I like about that category is that usually the products are relatively light. So as a new seller, sometimes you can make some expensive mistakes buying products that are really, really heavy, all that good stuff. You're not gonna run into a ton of that with health and household. So that's another reason why I think it's pretty beginner friendly. So the next type of product I want to go ahead and break down, I think is a good product for beginners, is the beauty category, especially this time of year is almost coming up on Christmas. And so there's going to be a lot of people buying, you know, those eyeshadow palettes and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be a very popular stocking stuffer. Is going to be really good, quick selling products. With the beauty category, you might run into more returns than something like grocery or health and household. Might be, you know, they buy that new palette and they don't like the colors. You're not going to really run into that with vitamins. Like when you buy vitamin C, you know what you're getting. When you buy a makeup palette, they're not 100% certain that it's the right shade, all that good stuff. So you are going to run into returns with the beauty category, but especially this time of year, it's going to be a great place to look. And something I'll mention when you're looking for beauty products is make sure you're going ahead and finding any extra way to add to those margins, right? There's a lot of different websites where you can source beauty products. So number one, make sure you're going to those beauty sites where there's not a lot of other competition. But if you are sourcing from those sites with a lot of competition, make sure you have as much as possible in place. So again, discounted gift cards, cash back, all that good stuff is going to be really, really important to make sure that your costs are lower than the competition. Make sure you can still squeeze out some profit, even if prices started to fall, right? And so before we wrap up the video, I want to go ahead and jump into the computer here. I want to show you exactly how you can source your first product. You know, we're talking about all these categories, the different places where you can actually sell things on Amazon. It's not very useful. I don't show you how to actually find those products. So this is what I'd recommend. Go to Amazon, especially if this is your first product that you're sourcing, and look for any retail store's private label brand. So I've got an Ulta Beauty example pulled up because we were just talking about beauty. You could also look at Great Value or Up and Up or any of those brands that are the private label brand of a retail store. The reason for that is when we're looking at this product right here, this is an Ulta Beauty product. So we know that the sellers who are on this listing have to be buying this from Ulta. You're not going to get a wholesale account to buy this directly from Ulta. And so there's just no way that this is going to be sold by anyone besides Ulta themselves or other sellers doing the same thing that we are, flipping it on Amazon. And in this case, a quick check that we would do to double check for that is using SellerAmp over here. You just want to go ahead and check the seller names. Just make sure none of them say Ulta Beauty or anything like that. And in this case, we're just looking at a bunch of kind of generic names, a lot of people with not a ton of feedback. So this very clearly tells me that this is a listing that has a bunch of arbitrage sellers doing the same thing we are, buying from Ulta, Walmart, Target, flipping it on Amazon. And so from here, I want to go ahead and start looking at some of these other sellers. Let's just go ahead and check out this guy. Using SellerAmp, we can see why this is extra powerful because we get a lot more data all at once. So we can see the types of brands he's selling. So let's say you get here and you're gated in all of these brands. You want to go source brands that you're already ungated in. Maybe you'd hop on here, jump out immediately. Or let's say you jump onto this and you're only ungated in Clinique. You can just go ahead and click Clinique and it's only going to find those Clinique products for you. We can do the same thing for category. So over here, this guy clearly is having a lot of success with beauty. They're pretty much all in the beauty category. So let's just go ahead and show you what kind of my process is here, right? So as I'm looking through each of these items, I'm kind of asking myself if I can reasonably buy this item for the max cost option here. As I'm looking through here, I'm seeing this, you know, this mascara says the max cost is $11. Also over here, this is an add-on. So this is an extra fee. It's a different software. It integrates with SellerAmp though. And so I like to use arbitrage here over here to show me kind of what the prices are on these other websites. So from here, I can see that I need to buy this for $11. These other sites are usually selling it for $23 or so. And so probably I'm not gonna be able to get this at like a 50% off discount. So I'd probably just keep on scrolling here, right? So as we're going through here, we just be asking ourselves that same question over and over again, right? So this guy right here, can I buy this for $8.29? Looks like these other websites are selling it for $23. So probably not, right? Can I get this for $8? Sephora's got it at $13. So maybe I go ahead and check this out. We could see if there's any kind of coupon or anything like that. In this case, I think it pulled like the smaller size. Is that what we're working with? Yeah. So that's another thing you want to think about, right? In this case, this is the 4.2 ounce. So we want to make sure we've got the 4.2 ounce, right? And not the cheaper one that is much smaller. So we just go ahead and start looking through all of these price sheets here. In this case, it seems like they either found a really, really good killer deal on some Clinique stuff, or they're just not super profitable on a lot of this. So as I'm looking through a seller like this, right away, I'm seeing that there's probably not a ton of opportunity here that seem to be priced pretty far above the buy box. So this is where sales are actually happening. So number one, he's priced above the buy box on a lot of stuff. So probably not making a ton of money here. And a lot of these items, we would need to be buying it for way, way cheaper than they they seem to be selling. So based on that, I would probably just go ahead and check out another storefront here. And really you just want to, within, you know, maybe a minute, 2 minutes, kind of decide if each one of these sellers is going to be something that you actually want to dig deeper into. So, you know, we've got this right here. A lot of these are probably third-party sellers. So we could just go ahead and click the Google button and we'd be looking for this product under $9. So it looks like we got it for 12 bucks here. So we could see if there's any kind of coupon or anything like that. Or maybe you check this on Black Friday and see if there's any good Black Friday sales running. In this case, I don't see any Black Friday deals or any coupon banners, anything like that. You could also do something like this where you do Good Molecules coupon. And so based on that, we could see if there's any kind of, in this case, looks like there might be a 50% off coupon. I'd be really surprised if that was real. We could look through a lot of these different products. This right here. Yeah, we're kind of down a rabbit hole a little bit, but we could just go ahead and do a little bit of Google search and see if we can find those coupon codes. Go ahead and apply that here. In this case, we're probably a little bit more expensive than we need to be. So I just go ahead and keep on moving down the line here. Continue to source through each and every one of these products until we find something that usually we're looking for a product we can buy for about half of what it's selling for on Amazon. And so now that you know some great places to start looking for products to sell on Amazon, if you want to see me spend 15 minutes kind of live sourcing, trying to find specific leads, there's going to be a video right up here. You can go ahead and click that. We'll jump through some live sourcing there at the end, because there at the end of this video, we kind of just start sourcing some products. If you want to see us find some good example leads, go ahead and click on that video. If you're ready to start doing product research and you want to jump in with a free trial of SellerAmp, you can check that out down below. It's going to be a coupon, save you 50% off as well. If you guys did get value out of this video, please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Helps me out the YouTube algorithm for sharing some value with you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, anything like that. Always happy to answer those down below as well. But I really appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.